Welcome back, first timers. We are behind the power curve because I just recently decided to start a time-sensitive new hobby.
David decided he's going to start a garden, and he's dragging me along with him.
I started seeing a lot of EarthBoxes pop up on my Instagram feed, and once I started looking into it, I realized this company's been around for a super long time. They're very durable, they're versatile, they take a lot of the guesswork out, so we ended up buying a bunch of these boxes. We got 3 of the EarthBox Originals, 1 with a trellis, and then we got 2 of the EarthBOX Veg and Root, so we can grow carrots and other things like that. Let's get in these boxes, we'll show you what we got, and then let's get planting. So there's one night just about 2 or 3 days ago where I couldn't sleep and all I could think about was food. I was worried about having it, I was worried about where to get it, and the only thing that kind of made me feel at ease was the thought of starting a garden. And I ended up just ordering it all in the middle of the night. We're gonna unbox this and let's see what's inside. With EarthBox, there's a bunch of different options that you can buy. They have the original, they have a junior, which is a little bit smaller, a little thinner. Then they have the root box, and then there's accessories for all of these. You can get things like the trellis, you can get wheels, you can get covers. You could also get an automated water system. That way you don't even have to come out and water everything. We didn't do that because we weren't sure the configuration and if we were going to be running hoses from one end of the yard to the other end, so we're gonna have to manually fill these up. But what's really cool about the EarthBox is it does have a water reservoir, so the soil sits up on a platform and that's where the plants grow, and then underneath that some of the soil is touching the water and it'll get soaked up into the main soil, ultimately watering the plants, and then you just fill up the holding reservoir. Having never grown anything before, if I can make it a little bit easier, it'll probably make it a little bit more enjoyable, and then we'll have a higher rate of success. Anyway, I saw online, these are the, oh, okay. We got the tubes here. These are the, I think these are the filling water tubes. You got the covers. They're reversible, so you have a lighter side and a darker side. So depending on if you're trying to keep the plants cooler or warmer, you can utilize these covers. So we got a couple of those, some destructions. I went with the caster wheels. That's an additional charge that you put on the bottom so you can move these boxes. When this thing is full of water, soil, and plants, it's gonna probably be pretty heavy, so these wheels will come in handy. And then this is the trellis system, so it snaps on the bottom, and then you have these raised arms on either side. There's a 3, 5, and 7 foot option. We went with the 5. These are the bases that I was talking about right here. So this sits at the bottom, and then the soil goes here. The roots will kind of grow through the bottom, and then the wickering piece would be right here, so that touches the water and that'll soak water up into the rest of the soil. So this is the EarthBox Original itself. It's a very durable, heavy-duty plastic. I've heard of people having these things 10, 15, 20 years, and the only complaint is after years and years of use, it may start to fade. They don't get brittle, they don't break. I'm looking forward to using these things. So we got 3 of those. With our bundle, we also got the EarthBox. It's like a starter kit, so you can add the dolomite and the plant food or the fertilizer right into the soil. Very simple to put together. All it is that platform, but because we got the wheels, we're gonna spin this bad boy over, and the wheels are just standard. Put them in, they don't even really snap. I mean, just a little force, and that's all she wrote. Then you got the platform here that goes right in. You got the watering tube. And once we get the soil, we'll add the sprinkles in. With the trellis system, it'll come with 2 additional wheels. That way you can still wheel this thing around even when it has a platform on it. You just flip it over, and then you get 2 of these platform bases that go right in the hole. And then the wheel goes right here. You put the other 2 that you would have gotten as options here. Same thing on the other side. These things just go right in. Like I said, there's no real pressure or anything like that, so if you have any hand strength issues, it's really no problem at all. And then the rest of it just kind of clips together pretty easily. You got these little end pieces here that just clip here. Got a little screw, a little wing nut. Just tighten that down. That'll go right in there. And then the same thing on the other side. We reached maximum height for this area here, so I'm going to put this down on the ground. So I ordered the 5-foot trellis system, and I thought the poles were going to be 5 foot, but I think the entire thing is 5 foot because there's no way that the poles alone are 5 foot. So if you're trying to go a little bit higher, you're probably going to want to go with the 7 foot. It also comes with a netting system that'll go right in here. Now we're not going to install that just yet because we want to make sure we get the soil, we get the plants situated before we start adding netting. Now we're going to pop open the EarthBOX Root and Veg. Rather than a rectangle shape, it's a square, and it's a little bit deeper for those root vegetables like carrots. We only got 2 of those because, I don't know, they just seemed like the right number. So these came all packed together as well. And then these ones also come with the base where the soil goes on top, and then kind of the wickering situation here where the soil's here and it soaks it up into the top. Oh, they spare no expense with the cellophane. It has a similar platform right here, sprinkles that we'll add to the soil once we get the soil. And then we have the fill tube here, and then also the double-sided cover. There was really no assembly here for the root and veg system. You just put the platform in, you got the fill tube, and then once we get soil, we'll follow the instructions to mix the starter pack in with the soil. We're not experts at all, and we're going to be kind of learning this process as we go, so feel free to comment below if you think we're doing it wrong, if you have any recommendations.
Originally, we were going to try and put the earth boxes here in our screened-in porch, but it doesn't look like it's going to get enough sun, so we're going to just go right out this door and put it over here on the sidewalk.
So this area right here gets sun pretty much the entire day. So there's a chance we may have to move them from here also, because if we get plants that aren't supposed to get full sun, then we may kind of split them up between the screened in porch area and then this area. We're going to head off to the big box store. We're going to take you with us, and we're going to pick out some vegetables that we can grow right now starting in May. We are at our local big box store with a garden center. Now, I did call around to see if any of the local nurseries had plant seedlings or any of the things that we wanted to grow, but unfortunately they said it's just hard for them to compete with the big box stores in terms of price. While they did sell more mature plants and a lot of the growing supplies you need, as well as seeds to grow, they didn't have any plants that were already growing. And because we're starting so late in the season, we're gonna go with plants that are already growing. Otherwise, I think we'll miss the boat on getting any of these things big enough so we can eat this summer. We do like to support local first, frequently and often, but this is going to be a case where it just doesn't make sense or we don't have that ability. This big box store that we're at right now does have a whole heck of a lot of options in terms of fruits, vegetables, berries, trees. We do have a good idea of what we're looking for, and we're going to try and keep it simple on our first time trying to grow. So things like squash, zucchini, cucumbers, tomatoes, those type of things we're going to probably gravitate towards. There are a few other ones like peppers that we think we're going to incorporate in as well.
I got David's schematics right here. It's been hard at work toiling and sketching and I'm not sure what his plan is or which way this goes, but I got it.
Now it's time to get dirty. I think what we're going to be using is this organic one. It seems like a good combination of the things we need.
We've got an unexpected downpour.
We're definitely feeling like gardeners now. The rain is subsiding a little bit. We just wanted to get everything out of the rain because it was coming down pretty hard, and some of these plants, they look a little beat down, and then our soil also, some of the bags had some holes in it, so we didn't want to just completely inundate everything with water. We're going to go load these things up. We'll follow the instructions, but they're pretty simple. So once you get these things, the instructions are straightforward. Some soil in, you pack some on the sides in the wickering squares, a little dolomite, a little more soil. You put the fertilizer in. Very simple when you follow the instructions, but we're going to do that now.
ready to plant our plants, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make a couple of holes for your plants, and then you want to put some water into the hole so it doesn't shock the plant when you transplant it. So we're going to do that now. Once you've watered the holes, you're going to take your plants out of their little pot and transplant them into your growing box, cover them up, put the mulch cover back over it, and then you're going to take a hose and fill up the reservoir with water using the filling tube. You'll know it's full when the overflow vent starts to spill out water.
Now I'm going to be using the root and veg box. It's pretty much the same process where you pack the wickering corners, you layer it, you hit it with a dolomite, you layer it, and then you add the fertilizer in the trough. The only difference with this one is we're going to be sowing seeds. You got carrots, but we got different kinds. So we got this tricolor, and then we got the regular old-fashioned orange one. And in a short 60 to 80 days, we're gonna have a couple of carrots. Well,
it's nighttime now, and it's still raining.
That was a lot more work than I was anticipating, but I do think it's gonna be more rewarding in the long run. But I do think these earth boxes are gonna make things so much more simpler, and I do think it's kind of a plug and play process. It gives us a lot of good instructions. The systems are really easy to use. We'll see how the plants grow in there and see if we actually grow some fruits and vegetables. It's been 30 days since you guys saw this garden, and I'm telling you, we followed the instructions to a T. The soil, the fertilizer, the water. I'm completely shocked at what happened. We have had ample success with the growing here. Every one of the earth boxes have really outperformed my expectations. Of the 3 earth boxes, the one with the cucumbers and tomatoes are doing the best. The only problem with that one is the tomatoes are getting completely enveloped by the cucumbers, and it's struggling a little bit. The zucchinis and the summer squash have been producing lights out. We're harvesting vegetables nearly every single day. But one of the root boxes, we ended up putting peppers in that one. So we have 3 different kinds of peppers, and so far we've been harvesting some. We have the shishitos and we had the culipinos. The biggest disappointment so far has been the carrots in the root box. This is my 3rd attempt at trying to grow carrots in there. I've tried to sow the seeds. They start to sprout, and then for whatever reason they just don't take off. We also expanded the garden from just the earth boxes. We have potted plants and bagged plants. So we're doing some herbs like rosemary, basil, and mint. And then we have a small strawberry plant that hasn't produced anything yet. Now the bags, we have butternut squash in 2 of them, and then sweet potatoes in 2 of them, and those are growing. We also have peppers, eggplant, and more tomatoes in a pot. But really the star of the show has been the earth boxes.
I am absolutely shocked that anything grew. I thought for sure we're gonna plant this stuff, it's all gonna die within like a week. But we have so many vegetables, I don't even have to go to the store anymore.
But after 30 days, we would both highly recommend earth boxes. We're definitely not sponsored. We don't have an affiliate link at all. We just really wanted to try gardening, and I'm so shocked and so surprised, and I'm having so much fun doing this.
It is amazing to see how much these grew and how much overnight you just get a vegetable suddenly.
But if you like this video, check out this video here where we did other product reviews of things we tried for the first time. Thanks again for following along in this episode, and join us next time when we try something else new for the first time.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. First timers.
High five.